Aussie Summercraft here. I'm doing a really quick demonstration today. I've got this piece of willow with a small section of crotch feature on the one side. It is 8 inches across by, I don't know, 1.5 inches thick maybe. I'm just going to make a really simple bowl, but I'm not going to put any finish on it. Tomorrow night I've been invited to the Essex County Woodturners Association meeting, and I'm going to do a quick demonstration there of finishing this bowl here when it's made with Yorkshire grit and Hampshire sheen high gloss, and hopefully they like what they see. Okay, so I can't go in too deep with this. I've actually got a spacer here on my chuck, and I'm only going to go in a little bit, about 3/4 of an inch, which is not very far at all. So I'm going to drill my hole. I've already got it centered. Should be deep enough. Now you can always put a bit of wax on there if you want, but I don't think I'm going to need to. Okay, so on slow speed I'm going to get this trued up and make a bowl. Okay, so this has been sanded to 220 grit only. I'm actually very happy with the finish at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to finish the underside with Yorkshire grit and Hampshire sheen high gloss. I'm going to go 3 coats of high gloss, then I'm going to turn it around, hollow it out, and tomorrow evening is going to be my demonstration of Yorkshire grit and Hampshire sheen high gloss on the inside of the bowl. They'll see it sanded to 220 grit, and then they'll see the amazing results with both of these products. Okay, again, my Yorkshire grit is going on first. It's had sanding sealer applied, and it is sanded down again to 220 grit. I went from 100 to 120, 180, and then 220. Just get a little bit on my cloth here. And you can get it right inside this texturing as well, because you can get it out afterwards, no problem. You want to get it worked right in by hand as much as you can. And then let the grit do the work with the lathe spinning as high as you are comfortably with. I'm running at about 1300, 1400 RPM right now, 1500 RPM. I probably could go faster, but I don't want to go too fast. That's good enough. Make sure you get in all of the crooks, the nooks and crannies, all the little edges. Make sure you get them all, and the texturing. and you can start using a fresh area of paper towel to remove any of the residue. I can feel the grit has now reduced in size significantly from when I first applied it, and I can start to see that mirror finish that you get from the equivalent of 1,000 grit of sanding in a fraction of the time, and without the expense of all of those grits and time of sanding. And that is a beautiful finish. Again, I always say a beautiful finish, but it's a beautiful pre-finish. Okay, so now it's time for the Hampshire Sheen High Gloss. There it is. This is basically what it looks like in the tin. It's a lot stiffer than the original, and it's a lot drier than the original. This is a new can. It was just made a few days ago. But as you can see, you literally just need a little piece on your paper towel. And you can actually, if you want, you can wipe that in by hand, like the Yorkshire grit, or you can do it with the lathe spinning. But you want to get it so that the surface of the bowl or your turned item is smeared in the Hampshire Sheen, and you want to let it sit for a few minutes, let it go tacky, I guess. But you want to get a good covering. Make sure it's all covered in the Hampshire Sheen High Gloss. There it is. I'm going to let this sit for about 10 minutes. Going to go and have a cup of tea. Let that go tacky. Come off and buff it off. And I'm going to do this 3 times. But you can do it as many times as you want to get the finish that you're looking for. Okay, I'm back. It's been about 10 minutes. The wax has gone kind of a little bit tacky on the workpiece. So now with the same paper towel, I'm now going to buff this in high-ish speed, about the same speed, 1500, to get that finish. And you want to create heat with this to melt that wax and cure it. Again, you have to get your nail in those spots. And there is the first coat of Hampshire Sheen High Gloss. So, okay, now I'm going to add a second coat from the same jar. I'm very happy with this, it's nice. This time what I'm actually going to do is another way of doing it, I suppose. Put some on my paper towel. And then in low speed I can apply it. Okay, so that's applied. It's a little bit wet. I will let that go a little bit tacky and then buff it off again. So to buff this off again, the second coat. starting with slow speed, I can do that and then increase my speed. And that is my second coat of Hampshire Sheen High Gloss. All I've really used out of this tin for this one side of this 8-inch willow, corkscrew willow bowl. So not a whole lot of it. I haven't had to use a lot. It does go an incredibly long way. It lasts, should last you a long time. Again, I will let that sit for 10 minutes, let it go a bit tacky, and we'll buff that to the final shine. And to finish this side of the bowl with the third wax. Fresh piece of paper towel. So hopefully you can see the finish on that. Actually a very nice piece of wood. I never thought willow would make much, but as it seems to be a relatively soft wood, especially when it's wet. But I tell you, when it's dry, it's pretty hard. So I will now get this turned around in my 4-jaw chuck and hollow the inside, ready for finishing tomorrow night. So wish me luck. Okay, so this is my bowl now. It's approximately 1/4 of an inch thick. Not sanded yet. I'm now going to sand it from 100 through to 220 grit like I did on the outside, but I'm not going to apply any finish until tomorrow night at the demonstration. They will be able to see the back side of the bowl, which you've seen already, which is finished, and then I'll demonstrate how the products work. And thanks again for joining me for this quick turn. This bowl is finished on the underside with Yorkshire grit and 3 coats of Hampshire sheen high gloss with a little bit of texture on the base there. It's got a nice little bit of crotch feature, which is you can see on the underside and also on the top. It's about 1/4 of an inch thick, relatively even. It's a very light piece of wood. It's not very heavy. The inside of the bowl is not finished yet. Now I was applying sanding sealer and sanding to the finish I wanted, so now it's ready for Yorkshire grit and Hampshire sheen tomorrow night at the Essex Kent County Woodturners Association meeting, which is right here between Woodsley and Bell River, which is about 7-minute drive for me. I'll leave a couple of photographs at the end to show you my sanding job, and if you want to check this out when it's complete, you can check me out on Facebook, Rob Summerlin, Woodsley Summercraft. You can see me on Facebook, and thanks again for watching, and thanks for all the subscribers. Now I'm over 2,500 subscribers, 2,500 subscribers. Really happy about that. I really appreciate you guys subscribing and liking and commenting on my projects. It makes a big difference. It makes it all worthwhile. So thanks for watching and take care. Bye now.